MMOs and RuneScape especially are very easy games to make mistakes in, as you are going to be sort of planning on a long-term duration of goals for your character. Your account is going to be something that you build value on, is going to be something that you spend a lot of hours into, and so making mistakes along the way happens quite often. So with this being an interesting idea, I want to put a question to you guys in the community on my YouTube channel and say, what are some mistakes that you guys have made along the way in your journey, specifically while you've been playing RuneScape across the years? So for this video, I thought it could be fun to go through those answers that you gave me and basically give my thoughts on them as we go through. I also just want to give a heads up, I am not actually at home at the moment, so the audio may sound a little bit less good, like decent quality. The room that I'm in is a little bit echoey, so I do apologize for that. But also, you can definitely minimize this video and just listen to it in the background if that's what you prefer to do. But even though I am not at home, I still wanted to make something for you guys while I had a spare chance, and so here we go. Let's see what you guys said about some mistakes you made along your journey in RuneScape. Okay, so here we go. Mistake number 1 says, the worst decision I've ever made, and people in general could ever make, this big commitment to words there, is buying something on release or early because you are always going to lose a lot of money. Okay, I mean, this is actually pretty fair. I don't think I've ever seen a price go up and remain up on a new gear or any sort of valuable item. So what this person is saying basically is when a new boss comes out and there's a new shiny item, or not even just a boss, but a boss is a good example, the brand new weapon to the game, the brand new piece of armor, new ability, buying it on day 1 is usually a mistake because you're going to overspend by a hell of a lot. Now, for the average player, I'd say this actually definitely applies. It only really changes if 1, you've just got more money than you can even know what to do with, or 2, you are a content creator. I think it makes a big difference if you're a content creator like myself, because obviously getting that early on is good content for your actual channel. So for my sense in that, it's a little bit different, but they are kind of absolutely right. There's only one time that I can remember while playing this game actively a hell of a lot is the Staff of Armadillo. I believe this came out and actually went down in price and then went up to something like 9 billion GP again, even like a while after release, because Magic was just way ahead of anything else. It was best in slot, the demand for it was super high, price went stupidly high. It was literally like 9 billion GP, I remember at one point, after I'd bought it for around about 3.4, maybe 4 billion GP. And then, of course, now the price of this has crashed down a hell of a lot again, as already it is. But either way, other than that, you're absolutely right. I can't think of another thing that has like been stupidly high in release and then dropped and then gone back up or increased anyway. So unless there absolutely is a reason that you want it nice and early, like you're a content creator, or you just have way more money than you could ever need, maybe hang on from buying the brand new shiny thing for a little bit and then buy it once the price comes down and save yourself probably a really good amount of GP. This next one says, there are too many to list over the years, but I'd say my top difficulty is trying to balance time versus GP. I used to carefully guard GP and not want to spend, but I changed my mind because of life only allows so much time for RuneScape as a hobby. Work, marriage, and children have decreased my time for lengthy grinds and also decreased my appetite for them as well, which makes total sense, and I have been there myself too. GP comes and goes for me. Spending became worth way more than hoarding, and hoarding also caused indecision about spending. And that change helped me enjoy the game a lot more. So I freaking love this one a lot because it also highlights a couple of other issues too. But yes, absolutely, a lot of people do hoard GP and they kind of like focus a lot of the time on making GP, and I think most of this game's goals for a lot of people is making gold, because let's be fair, you've probably seen on my channel a lot of the videos are like how to make money and all this sort of stuff. That's just what gets clicks, it's what sells, it's what people want to do in RuneScape 3. However, it's actually always better to spend GP to make GP as well. So like, even if you're early on and you're trying to hoard GP, it's actually always better to just spend GP and to invest back into your character and get rid of it, because once you've done that, you increase your actual character skills. It comes a lot quicker as well. So if you are somebody that does hoard GP, maybe consider using it, investing it back into your own character, because I guarantee you will make money faster once you've done this. So it's kind of funny that I am picking this one to be the next comment to read, because I kind of just did this in the last one by telling you to invest the GP into your own character again and not hoard it, right? I'm kind of like going against what this says, but this comment does say all the same, playing the game how others decided is the best. You get so focused on what's optimal that you're no longer having fun. So you absolutely shouldn't focus on what everybody else says is the best way to play the game. Now, you should focus on it in the sense of, okay, if I want to do something correctly and I don't want to completely waste my time, you should follow a guide, you should take people's advice on board and stuff. But if you are doing something in the game because somebody's told you to do that and you're not enjoying it, remember it's still a game and you should do what you want to do if you're going to enjoy it in a different way. Or if, for example, someone says, oh, the best way to play the game is PVM, you have to PVM. This would probably be something I say, right? You can go ahead and say, no, I want to be someone who just does skilling. I want to just do fishing. I just want to literally spend my entire life chopping down trees, regular logs, nothing else, just chopping down trees. And then I want to manually sell them to people that pass through the barbarian village and do nothing else. That's all you want to do. If that's what you want to do, then you go ahead and do that. It's probably not very efficient, and I'm sure there's probably no one that actually wants to do this, but all the same, if you do want to do it, then you do you, I suppose. But the point is that you should play the game how you want to play it. If you find enjoyment in something, then even though it's not like that efficient, just go ahead and do it. I don't play the game efficiently in the slightest, and when I maxed, I was super inefficient, but I did the stuff that I found less tedious and frustrating, and so it took me longer, but I actually enjoyed it, and so I got there eventually. Messig here actually has a very good point. He says, not realizing I was part of the 54.5% of the video watchers who are unsubscribed. So a quick reminder here, if you guys haven't clicked the sub button, there's a lot of you guys that watch the videos that haven't clicked that. Maybe you think you are subbed and just, well, you're going to check and go, wait, what a frick, I'm actually not. So check it, give the button a click, I would appreciate it a ton. Let's get back to the video. So I chose this next one just so we can all have a little bit of a laugh, I suppose. I'm so sorry, just Jonas, but we're gonna have a little bit of a laugh. You say, taking a break, and when I came back, accidentally using an equipment dissolver instead of an equipment separator. I was like, oh, they changed the look of these, I wonder why. Then it hit me after it was too late. Freaking rip, bro. This is so sad. For those of you that don't know, because maybe you're newer to the game or something, an equipment dissolver and an equipment separator do completely different things. They are for invention and they separate perks from gear. So basically what's happened is he's bought the dissolver off the G and not the separator, because you can't buy a separator from the G, and he's just destroyed his gear basically, which is very sad. So rip to you. I am very sorry to hear that, but I'm sure you probably recovered from it, and you're definitely not alone. This next one's pretty similar to the one we mentioned a little bit earlier, but it's something that you're going to hear every time you mention this question. You're going to hear this because it's such a big point and it is important to mention. So this comment says, for me, my biggest mistake was playing for efficiency instead of fun for far too long. Burnt out and almost quit. Fun is more important than grind. The game is always a grind, and most people are always going to have an upgrade in mind. Have fun because the grind is inevitable. So yeah, I mean, this is true. But if you're grinding towards something, you should try and do that in a way that you enjoy. So like, for example, if you're grinding towards an item and it's 5 bill, then if you enjoy something that is 80 mil an hour, rather than something that is 100 mil an hour, then do the 80 mil. That's just an example. 80 mil is still a great amount of GP, but you know what I mean. If something's 50 mil an hour and then something's like 80, then do the one that you enjoy, even if it's like the lesser method. As for like certain parts of the game, there's going to be stuff that you're going to have to grind for that just doesn't feel that fun, which is a little bit sad, but it will add extra sort of taste to the reward. But yeah, definitely focus on fun. Absolutely. This next one is one that I just want to say, don't do this, basically. Don't engage with this at all. This comment says, falling for the anti-lure. This is basically where someone will try and lure you for your gear, your items, and they want you to know that you know they're luring. Like, they make it obvious that it's a lure, right? And they're betting on the fact that you're going to think, I know this lure. I know how to get money out of them. And then you try it, and they're betting on that, and so they take your gold away from you all the same and completely trick you, and you're like, oh, oh, okay, yeah, rip. So this happens a lot, and this is like the best way that they actually get you right now, because people know, everyone knows about the lures, everyone's heard about them, but they will play on the fact that, you know, you think you know what's happening. Don't go for this, guys. This is crazy. Just ignore anybody that you think is going to be luring. It's not worth it. This next one says, hindering my progression, it says profession, but progression, by buying a look of the dwarves. Later, I sold it for the Siway Wand and Greater Concentrator Blast. So, this is, I want to include this purely because this happens a lot. Like, a lot of people know at this point that the look of the dwarves is a noob trap item, but there's a lot of things in game that do this. And I actually did this to myself a while back when I was leveling up my character, except it was with cosmetic items and not actually, like, you're better off having a look at the dwarves than doing what I do to my GP. It was purely cosmetics. You can only wear one cosmetic override at a time. It wasn't worth it. It was bad, right? But you should definitely focus on upgrading like specific things first, and buying things like a look at the dwarves is definitely not worth it if you haven't upgraded like your weapons or anything like that first. Now, if you bought a look at the dwarves and then you sold it and bought a Cyware wand, which is like tier 85, I believe, you were obviously not in a position to even be thinking about look at dwarves. So I'm glad that you figured it out. But one thing that if people are wondering about their like gear progression and stuff, one, there's probably content all over YouTube, but two, a great place to check out is PVME. Go in there, there's like gear progression stuff. You can follow it through for each like combat style or whatever you're doing, and you can just make sure that you're not wasting GP. But if you are someone who has a look at the dwarves, but you don't have like tier 90 weapons, you don't have like loads, so many other things like upgraded abilities, greater concentrated blast, all that sort of good stuff, then maybe you should sell it and focus on some of the upgrades first, because look at the dwarves is only a 1% increase to rare drops. 1%. It is definitely not worth a price tag unless you have everything else first. Anyway, guys, we're going to call the video to an end there. I hope you found it interesting, something to listen to while you're AFKing or PVMing. I just wanted to keep posting as much as I can this month because, again, I'm not at home. I am in the middle of moving house right now, which is why the audio probably sounds worse and why I'm not at home. So I will hopefully be back to normal very soon with content, but also it's Christmas soon, right? And then New Year's, so I'm gonna be taking time off for the family, so I wanted to keep posting this month as much as I can up to that run of Christmas, because I'll definitely be taking that time off, and so I wanted to get a video out to you guys all the same. I know it's nothing like overly exciting, but I hope you enjoyed all the same, and if you did, leave a like, sub to the channel if you are new around here, and I will catch you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later. Bye.